Alright, today you guys, we are going to make a new type of data display called a box and whisker plot. A box and whisker plot basically is a graph that sits on top of a number line. And to make a box and whisker plot, you need to find what's called the 5-number summary. And you guys already know how to find all of these numbers. It's almost the same process as finding the interquartile range. This is a way of graphing the IQR. And so what you need to find first, it's called the minimum, which means the smallest number. I'm gonna write min. You need to find quartile 1. You need to find the median. You need to find quartile number 3. And then you also need to find what is called the maximum, which is the greatest number in the data set. And I think that your book, instead of calling it minimum and maximum, just calls it the greatest and the least value. But that's what the official names are, minimum and maximum. And so before you can start, you guys need to first put all of your numbers in order from least to greatest. And so I would really make sure that you have all of your numbers in your list before you go on, so double check. That you have all, I think there are 12 numbers. And then once you have those in order, you can just start finding your values. So the minimum, the smallest number in the list is 0. The maximum, or the biggest number in the list, is 6. And then I would next find the median, which is the middle number in the whole list when they're lined up from least to greatest. And so remember, you cross them off from each side until you get to the middle number. But as you do this, you should see that there are 2 numbers in the middle, and so you have to add those up. So 2 plus 2, which is 4, divided by 2 would give you 2 again, so the median is 2. But if you remember from when we found the IQR, the median gets taken out of the list. So in this case, there was not one number exactly in the middle. So to mark the median, or where the median should be, I'm going to just draw a line there. And that's the halfway point. So there should be 6 numbers on either side of the line. Quartile 1 now is the median of the lower half of numbers. Quartile 3 is the median of the upper half. And so for quartile 1, you're going to find again that there are 2 numbers in the middle. So you find the mean of those. So 1 plus 1 is 2, divided by 2 is 1 again. For quartile 3, same thing. 3 plus 3 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. So then these 5 numbers that I'm drawing a box around are what you're going to graph. It's called the 5-number summary. And so then, to make this graph, like I said earlier, you just need to make a number line. So draw just literally a regular number line. Sometimes people think that you're graphing the original numbers on the number line, so you would need to have like 2 zeros, for example, but you don't. The number line is just a regular number line. So the smallest number in the list was 0. The biggest number was 6. So your number line has to go between 0 and 6. And you can pick what to count by. If you had a bigger variety of numbers, you'd probably not want to count by ones. But this one, it only goes up to 6, so I'm going to count by ones. And then to make the box and whisker plot, all you're doing is you're plotting those 5 numbers, the 5-number summary that you found earlier, just above the number line. And that creates like the outline of your graph. So the minimum we said was 0. The maximum was 6. You're going to have to excuse my bad handwriting. Quartile 1 is 1. The median was 2. Quartile 3 is 3. And so it's called a box and whisker plot because it's made of a box and then two long lines that we are calling whiskers. And so the box is created by kind of outlining where quartile 1 and quartile 3 are. It's showing you the range. It's actually showing you the interquartile range. But so you draw a box around quartile 1 to quartile 3. The median is like the halfway point. So you draw a line there. And then the whiskers are showing you how spread out your data is. So from the least to the greatest value. That's the box and whisker plot. So if you look at this, what it's showing you is that half of your data falls in between your box, and then 1/4 are on either side, shown by the whiskers. And the longer the box is, the more your data is spread out. The only thing I forgot, I think, is that you need to label your number line. So down here, these numbers stood for the time, and we were measuring in hours. So that's your box and whisker plot. We're going to do one more. This is, if you're looking in your book, on page 486, it's number 5, and we're talking about ticket prices. And so again, first I would list out the 5 numbers that you need to find. So you need to find the minimum, the min, you need to find quartile 1, you need to find the median, quartile 3, and the maximum. And then put your numbers in order from least to greatest. Again, double check. I might not have enough room. Double check that you have everything. That's a 3. 40, 42, 44, 44. Oh no. There are 2 44s. Okay. 45, 47, 55, 58. Okay, so then start with what you know. You know the minimum is 38. The biggest number, the maximum is 58. And you can find the median by finding the middle number. Okay, so on this one, there's one exact median. It's 44. That means that that gets taken out of the list. This is like your halfway point. And so now to find quartile 1, you're going to go and find the median between 38 and 42. And so there's 1 in the middle, it's 39. Then do the same thing with the upper half for quartile 3, which is 47. Okay, so these are 5 numbers that you need to graph. And so now, since the smallest number was 38, the biggest number is 58, your graph has to go, or not your graph, but your number line has to go between 38 and 58. And so I would personally not count by ones, but it's, I guess, up to you. So draw your number line. I'm trying to write as neatly as possible. I'm going to try to really count by 2s. And then for the even numbers, I would just have to kind of estimate like where 49 would be, for example. 52, 54, 56, 58. Okay, So then just start labeling where each of your 5 numbers fall. So we have said the minimum was 38. Okay. The maximum was 58. Quartile 1 is 39. So in between 38 and 40. The median is 44. Oh my. And then quartile 3 is 47, so in between 46 and 48. So the box part of this is going to go between quartile 1, quartile 3, this is the IQR. The median gets marked as well. And then the whiskers mark the rest of your data and show you the highest and the lowest. From this, you should see that a lot of your data is farther over to the left, which means that the majority of your data are the lower values. And so if you're looking at the shape of this graph, we would say that this graph is, okay, skewed to the right. You can see examples of these in your book on page 486, but it's skewed to the right because most of the data is on the left. Oh, I forgot the label again. So we're talking about prices. We're measuring in dollars. All right. That is a box and whisker plot.